Hello again, gang. Welcome back to the channel. Jayhuahua here. Football Manager 2023 experiment. Of course it is. And today it's a classic channel favourite. The perfect column. It's Tommy, Mark and Phil. They're back. But this time, they've got a whole team behind them. Let's get straight into it. This is going to be a good one. So here we are. We are in the Vanarama National League. We've got York City, who are the Tommy technical contingent. We've gone with 5s for the other attributes. I was thinking for a full team, I might go 1s. The problem is goalkeepers, when they've got just physicals. So the physical fill team for goalkeepers had an overall weight rating of 1. And I was worried that it just wasn't going to gel with them improving and going forward. So I decided to go with 5s to give them the best opportunity, because 1s was tough, wasn't it? Even though when they'll get game time, it might be interesting, but we'll see. Anyway, 5s it is. Technical Tommies, there you go. There's the full team. We've gone with Bromley for the mental marks. And once again, here you go. We're just going to quickly skim through some of the players. I'm clicking through and you can see they're all mental mark. And finally, it's only bloody Oldham. Yes, it's the Oldham days. It's not. But I've not done any experiments really with Oldham. I always use Vanarama National League teams, and I've barely used Oldham. Why? Probably because there's a lot of Oldham content already on the channel. Anyway, physical fills are at Oldham. So I'm interested to see how teams progress and where they'll essentially, who'll win the leagues, who'll go up. Because of course, only 2 teams can go up from the Vanarama National League. So will they go up? That's the question. York are scheduled to be 5th, according to the media. Bromley in 2nd. Oldham, 91 to 1 on. 1 to 91. Don't really know odds. I'm not really much of a gambler. But there you go. According to Vanarama National League media, the physical fills will have it. So what we're going to do is the first interval, we're going to jump through 3 years, so to 2025. Because all the players are here. Sorry, I forgot that. They're all here till 2045. Transfer embargoes, all that jazz. It will be also interesting to know, because York are meant to finish 5th. They could not go up for a couple of years, but I imagine with the players of 200 potential ability, they all will. Of course, they've all got perfect hidden attributes as well. 20s across the board, because, yeah, we want to give them the opportunity to improve as players. So without further ado then, let's jump through 3 years and see where things are. Right, so the first season, Notts County and Gateshead went up. We had Bromley finishing 18th. York finishing 14th and Oldham coming 2nd. The following year was Oldham and Wrexham who went up. York finishing 4th and Bromley in 6th. And then last season it was York and Bromley. Okay, so we've gone up. And Oldham, the first season in League 2, have gone up as champions, which means that Oldham are this season going to be in League 1 for the first time. Of course, in terms of the current ability of players, they all did have varied current ability anyway, because of the players. But it looks like the mental marks have got the highest current ability. Look, Bromley, I've ordered it by current ability. We've got a couple of Bromleys in there. We've got York and Oldham sort of intermittently in between. But it's all about Bromley. Let's have a look at the Bromley squad then. Yes, of course, very weird polygons. Very weird indeed. But they are certainly Wayne Jackson. Obviously a regen. Obviously a player that's come through. And he's playing for them. He's actually playing. They're playing Wayne Jackson. 72 current ability. Aaron Whelan as well. How's he getting a game? So anyway, Bromley are in League 2, as are York City. Let's have a quick look at York then. Technical Tommies. So they're losing a lot of their 20s and they're improving elsewhere. Oh, look at this guy. Technical Tommy Striker 2 has now been retrained as a central midfielder. Why did they keep doing this? When we started off as central midfielders, they wanted to be a striker. We've given midfielders. Why are you retraining players? The Striker 3 has been retrained as well. Centre back 1 has been retrained as a central midfielder. Like, have you not got enough central midfielders or something? Right, let's have a look. I'm going to go by position. Right, the right back's been retrained as a centre back and a right wing back. Left back can play defensive midfield as well. Physical centre back can play back in midfield right. Yeah, there's been, look at this. Midfield right, centre, attacking midfield right, centre back. They've just been retraining players all over the shop. Wasting attribute points. Wasting current ability on different positions. You've got a team full of players that can play those positions. I don't know. Look at this striker, mental mark, been retrained as a defensive midfielder and centre back. I don't get me wrong. Defensive midfielder, absolutely, because that's where they play best. But, you know, I don't know. Of course, no caps whatsoever at the moment, but they are capped at under 20 level. So let's have a quick look at England. Lopetegui is in charge. No Ralph yet. So here we go. We've got 4 players in the under-21s, 3 of them goalkeepers. Look at Mental Mark as a goalkeeper, which is weird because Technical Tommy has got all the technicals. Mental Mark's absolutely flying. That's not a great goal. You saw that as a goalkeeper, you wouldn't go, oh, that's 149 current ability, would you? The only outfield player is the Mental Mark right back. Under 20s, well, there's lots of them. Under 19s, again, lots of them. And of course, under 18s, I was going to say lots of them again. No, none of them. Probably because they're all over 18. Yes, that would be why, Jay. Right, 5 more years then. Let's go. So we're in 2030 then, and they're all there in the English Premier Division, which is fantastic. So look at this. Wow. Oldham, the physical fields have overtaken. So Bromley, who were absolutely repping it up, they aren't now. It's all the physical fields and technical Tommies. Bromley have stagnated. Well. Of course, Oldham went up the following season, Bromley and York as champions, which meant League One. So when they were getting promoted, Oldham got promoted in second place, losing out on goal difference. Top scorers in the league on 68 goals in a 46-game season. That seems abnormally low, doesn't it? Anyway, they got promoted, and the following season, it was Bromley and York again. So Bromley chasing down Oldham every single year, and they're actually winning the leagues. But Bromley are taking the trophies home. And in the first season, Oldham were in the championship in 26-27. They finished 4th. So they lost in the playoffs on penalties to Norwich. Sad times. But the following season, all 3 of them were back in the same league for the first time since season 1. And Oldham went up as champions. York went up in second. It's Bromley who've been taking the silverware on the way to the Premier League, who actually finished outside the automatic promotion places and missed out in the playoffs. Look at that. 4 teams on 73 points. You would feel aggrieved if you were Nottingham Forest there, wouldn't you? Deary me. So we've got the following season then, Bromley went up as champions, and Nottingham Forest, who did miss out on goal difference from the playoffs, have gone up in the other automatic promotion spot. How very satisfying. And the first season in the Premier League then, we have York, who finished 5th, and Oldham finished 15th. So York got Euro Champions League football. York did. And then York have got Champions League football again, finishing 2nd. Oldham, 11th. Bromley, Conference League football in 8th. So we've got Bromley, who were winning all the leagues, even though they were a season behind Oldham. Oldham always a season ahead. And when they were all in the same league, Oldham won the league. Now, the first time in the experiment, Oldham have finished the lowest out of all 3 teams. And it seems like, at this point, they've got the best players. Nottingham Forest went down again. Sad times for them. And that's the most recent season. That is the most recent season. So let's have a little look in on York City then. Sean Dyche in charge. What's happened there then? Paul Watton was sacked. Why? Why was he sacked? FA Trophy winners, Vanarama National League champions, promoted from League 2, League 1, and the Championship. And he got sacked. Oh my God. FA Cup final. They lost 1-0 in the FA Cup final of the season. And in the Champions League, they went out in the quarter-finals to Borussia Dortmund. So in terms of the FA Cup, Man United have just beaten Oldham in the final as well. So we've got back-to-back finalists. That's as good as it's getting, I think, so far. Carabao Cup. York, our current Carabao Cup champions, beating Manchester City in the final. 4-1. 4-1. They're still spending massively. But Ruben Loftus-Cheek for £26 million. Now unemployed director of football. So anyway, we've got players that are in the 180s. So let's go and have a look at Oldham, who've got Unai Emery in charge. They sacked David Unsworth, what appears to be a few years ago. Doesn't state where. Sacked in the Championship, maybe? Danny Cowley got sacked due to the club's poor league position. Thomas Frank was sacked. Unai Emery's now in charge. And there we go. Physical Phil Striker, who's got 6 in 10 for England. This is more like it. 9 in 16 for Physical Phil Striker 3. There we go. The centre-back, always looking like a good player. Yes, absolutely. So the players that are playing more, of course, I would guess central midfielder 1 has barely played. No, he's played 130 times. He's literally played never made a start in the Premier League. Never made a league start. Sorry. That first season of Vanarama National was 3 starts. Every other match has been off the bench. There you go. Left back. 2 strikers, the centre backs. We've seen some of these, yeah. They're all looking very similar in terms of polygons now, the ones that are in the 180s. And they're looking very good for it. Here we go. In terms of current ability, we've got technical Tommy left winger looking every bit the superstar that he is. Great polygon. Again, the polygons are all looking very similar indeed. Steve Cook in charge of Bromley, who, again, Andy Woodman got sacked due to the club's poor league position. I mean, come on. You were in the Vanarama National League a few years ago, and you've gone up through the leagues. Internationally then, we've got 16 caps for physical Phil Striker 3. A lot of the Oldham team and York team, and a couple for Bromley. Yeah. Graham Potter in charge of England. Thomas Franks had a little dabble. All of the managers resigned as well. Where's Ralph? Manager of Greece. He's been manager of Czech Republic, Norwich. Manager of the year in 2025. Go on, Ralph. I had as Norwich manager, got relegated straight a bloody way within 2 months. I'm glad they gave him the opportunity to turn it round. Right, anyway, so how are we doing then? In terms of in Premier League, we've had one season in the Premier League of them all. We've got Champions League football for York, Conference League football for Bromley, and sadly, no European football for Oldham. But a lot of good players for Oldham. So when we come back, I'm thinking there'll be trophies. Almost certainly there's going to be trophies. We've got a Carabao Cup for York. We've had a runner-up in the FA Cup for Oldham and York. I think Bromley are going to win the Conference League here. I think York are probably going to win something. And Oldham, with no European football, quite possibly would finish above both teams in this following season. Just a little prediction. We're going to jump through 5 more years. I'll see you there. We're back in 2035. This is where we were last here looking at this Premier League. So the following season, Oldham did not finish above everyone. York won the league. York won the league on goal difference from Manchester City. Ice Cream Man loves it. Oldham came in 5th and Bromley getting Europa League football in 8th. No one qualifying for the Conference League. Why is that then? Because Bromley bloody won it. I'm telling you now. I'm sure they did. We'll go back and look. The York have won a Premier League. So Technical Tommy is winning the experiment so far. So I was close. Oldham are going to finish above everyone else. But that was because of the lack of European football. But Oldham are there, top, champions. York in 2nd, and Bromley getting Champions League football, but there's 6 teams. Don't tell me they won the Europa League as well. Oh, I can't wait to go and look at Bromley's schedule. Oh, unbelievable. Oldham again. Oldham, York, maybe they didn't win it because Bromley are in 6th getting Champions League football once more. Yeah, I don't know what's happened there, but Oldham have won 2 in a row now. York have bounced back 100 points, and we've got a top 3. York, Oldham and Bromley are top 3. Look at how many goals Oldham scored. 106. All 3 of them. 91 for Bromley, 89 for York, beating Liverpool. Liverpool finishing 9th. Chelsea down in 16th. Man City still in 7th. So, yeah, maybe the future transfers is having a little bit of an impact knocking about, but no one's been relegated in 13 years, 12 years at this point. So, we've got 2 apiece, York and Oldham. Bromley yet to win it. And they come through. They finished 3rd. They've won it. Bromley, Oldham, York. 106 points. 2 teams over 100 goals as well. Look at that end of season form for the top 4. 5 wins in a row for all of them. Arsenal snaffling that last Champions League spot, but look at that. Oldham finishing on 96 points in 2nd. York, 94 points in 3rd. Have you ever seen anything of the like? Well, no, you haven't, because that is insane. 94 points is, I think, I might be wrong in saying this. I could research it, but I'm not going to. I think 94 points would have won the league every single year where Sir Alex Ferguson won the league with Man United. Don't think United ever got to 94 points when he was in charge. So less won them the league. Yet this season, it was only good enough for 3rd. 90 points, which is easily enough to win it in some seasons, would have only got you 4th place. Can you believe that? Right, so we've got 2 for York, 2 for Oldham, 1 for Bromley. Shall we look at... Let's go and look at Bromley's schedule, because I'm sure they've won a Conference League. Lionel Scaloni's in charge. The Conference League then. They did win the Conference League, beating Wolfsburg in the final, with losing the FA Cup final to Newcastle after extra time. And they did win the Europa League the following season, beating Bayer Leverkusen. Fantastic stuff. Well, that's why they qualified. That's why they qualified for the Champions League the following year, finishing 6th, because they won the bloody Champions League. Why didn't I think of that? They've done a consecutive season European heist. Conference League, Europa League, Champions League. Unbloody believable. The gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? And they got to the semis of the Champions League the following 2 seasons. So, talking about FA Cups then. FA Cups then we've had... In the last 5 years, we've had 2 wins for Oldham, a runner-up for Bromley, and 2 run-ups for York. Carabao Cups, 4 for Oldham and 1 for York. Bromley and York coming runner-up once as well. So Oldham with 2 leagues, 4 Carabao Cups, 2 FA Cups, doing very well, with a Champions League as well. we've got York losing to Real Madrid in the most recent final, Bromley beating Man City in 2032-33, which we've already seen, and the season after, Oldham beating Barcelona. So one of our column teams has been in the final for the last 3 years. The last 4 years, I apologise, Oldham lost to Real Madrid in 31-32. I'm out of breath. I didn't expect them all to do this well. In terms of the shortlist then, we've got the current abilities. We've got a few players hitting 200s, loads on 190s, and in the 190s. Two players for York at 200, 4 for Oldham, 5 for Oldham, couple for Bromley, and Oldham again. Yeah, look at some of these polygons. Absolutely brilliant. 63 caps and 6 goals for England as well for the physical Phil left back. Well, looking at England, Johnny Heitinger's in charge. Pep's had a dabble. Graham Potter was the only English manager to get sacked in the experiment. Still a little bit close to the bone, if you ask me. Come on, Football Manager, have a heart. Well, there is no player that is not a physical Phil, a technical Tommy, or a mental Mark. And what? I'm trying to organise them by name and alphabetical. So now I've clicked on age, and it's moved them all to alphabetical. So yeah, that's good, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Tommy technicals, 7 mental Marks, 11 physical Phils. Well then, have they won anything? Well, they're ranked first, and they're the current holders of the Euros, and they are the current holders of the World Cup as well. Unbelievable. Beating Italy 4-1 in the final. We've got physical Phil and technical Tommy. Two goals from 2 technical Tommies. Got mental Mark in net, 58 caps. A lot of mental Marks in the back, a lot of physical Phils in the middle, and yeah, technical Tommy, physical Phil up front. I don't know. It's interesting to see how internationally it's making a difference as well. In terms of the season preview then, we've got so many of the players are from Oldham. Load of physicals, couple technicals. The only player that's not one of the Holy Trio is John Gray, and he's pretty good, isn't he? He is pretty good. 191. How much would you pay for him? 6'4". Heading's not great, is it? The 6'4", 13. Great marking. His tackling's not the best. Would you play him as a fullback? I think you would, wouldn't you? Crossing, great physicals, all right dribbling. I think he's a killer fullback, better than a centre back. For my money, he is good though, isn't he? Fantastic. Both footed, play him left or right back. Left back is where he plays. But according to the Media Dream 11, he is centre back. Probably because they want him as left back, the physical Phil one. Anyway, we've dilly-dallied long enough here. 5 more years then. Oldham are currently winning. That's last time we were here. Here we are, we're back. Bromley won the league. And the following season, it was York. Oldham in 3rd on 78 points. Falling away. Despite the fact that they've got most of the Media Dream 11. York, 95 points. Bromley, 93. Again, over 90 points, not winning the league. Heartbreaking. York again, 107. 92 for Oldham, 91 for Bromley. Can you believe this? Aston Villa won, and the other Holy Trinity teams, Bromley and Oldham, held them to a draw. But York nearly having the perfect season. Only dropping points in 3 games. That is unbelievable. And the following season, again, it was York, only losing the once. It was the Leeds this time. Bromley in 2nd on 93, Oldham in 3rd on 91. It looks like York are taking it. York have really stormed back in the league. Anyway, 3 in a row since we came back. Oh, and then now the 3rd on 90 points. Oldham in 2nd on 94. Bromley, 110 points. Mental Marks, no losses, 2 draws against Sheffield United and Brentford. Mid-table Sheffield United and Brentford. So close to a perfect season. And then most recently, it's Oldham again. Oldham are back. York in 3rd, Bromley in 2nd, and finally, not getting over 90 points. Where are we? 2040. They are going to be... Oh, we'll have a look, shall we? Pep's in charge of Oldham. What's happened here? Thomas Frank. Unai Emery... Right, he left. Fine. Unai Emery left. I was going to say, if you sacked Unai Emery, you harsh bastards. Pep's in charge of Oldham the last 4 years. What on earth? So they are still got some great current ability. Yeah, still holding on at 33. You'd expect, though, that they are going to be the ones that fall away quicker because physicals do drop off the face of the earth. So I think this is probably it for Oldham. They needed this stretch of 5 years, didn't they? Yes, they did, is the answer to that. And I don't think they took it. I think it was York. They've won 1 league. Bromley have won 1. Nearly a perfect season, but 3 for York. And 4 FA Cups for York in the last 5 years. And 2 Carabao Cups. 3 of them for Bromley. Brilliant stuff. However, York have never won a European trophy. No Champions League. And I think they've leapfrogged everything else. In the last 5 years, wow. Oh, York have been runners-up twice. Oldham have been runners-up twice to Bromley. They've also won it twice, but Bromley have won 3 times. So Lionel Scaloni's in charge of Bromley. Graham Potter came in and got sacked. He won the Champions League. Why did he get sacked? What happened? Oh, why did he get sacked? Can't look. When did he get sacked? He left in 2033. Oh, Scaloni's been there nearly 7 years. Sean Dyche in charge of England. Right, I'm going to go back to 2034 just for a sec. I want to find out why Graham Potter got sacked. Unemployed manager. Just sacked. Hired as Bromley manager, right? Sorry. In 2032. In 2033, UEFA Champions League winners. Following year. So 2 days later, they sacked him. Finishing 6th. Obviously not good enough. That was before Bromley really started to come into it. All right, let's go back to 2040. So yes, we've got Champions Leagues. We've got 3 for Oldham and 3 leagues, 2 FA Cups. Bromley, 4 Champions Leagues, 2 leagues, a Europa League and a Conference League, 3 Carabao Cups, no FA Cups whatsoever. York City, 5 Premier Leagues, 4 FA Cups, 4 Carabao Cups. It's a tricky one, isn't it? It's very tricky. Sean Dyche in charge of England, retained the Euros and retained the World Cup. Of course he did. Still got all those players in there. Look at this. Physical Phil, striker 3, has been... Wow, look at that. He's become absolutely world class. On 5s. Unbelievable stuff. Right, well, we're nearly there. We're going to go to 2045. Yes, we were last here in 2039-40, where Oldham won it. And of course, the physical Phils of Oldham, like we said, probably going to be declining now. So it's Oldham and Bromley, I think, have probably edged it because of the Champions Leagues that they've won. York having more domestic success, but for me, no Champions Leagues at all, not good enough. So in my opinion, York need to a couple of Champions Leagues, and if they get a couple more leagues, I think they've taken it. Don't think Oldham are going to do it. Oh, but they've retained the league. York have finished 4th. Arsenal won the league on 96 points. Oldham in 2nd. Tottenham in 3rd. Bromley not even getting Champions League football. Europa League qualification in 6th. Yeah, I was going to say Scaloni's probably gone. Michael Beale's in charge of them. John Heitinger's left England and he's come to Oldham. So Oldham back winning the league again. Bromley in 4th. York in 6th. Oldham in 1st again. 17 points clear. Arsenal, Brighton, Sheffield United. York down in 12th. Bromley in 10th. Oldham finishing 4th the most recent season. Bromley in 5th. York down in 10th. And just one more Champions League for our teams. It was Oldham 4 years ago. Another one up for Oldham as well. So 6 Premier Leagues, 4 Champions Leagues. Oldham and York have both had an FA Cup. Oldham have had 2 more Carabao Cups and York have had 1 more. So York have got 5 Premier Leagues, 5 FA Cups, 5 Carabao Cups. A very good return. Bromley, 3 Carabao Cups, so they're down on York. No FA Cups. Abysmal. But they've won a Conference League, 2 Europa Leagues, 2 leagues which is not as good as York, but 4 Champions Leagues. So I would say Bromley have arguably done better. What do you think? Bromley or York? Where are they positioned? Because I think it's safe to say Oldham, hands down, 6 Premier Leagues, the most Premier Leagues out of any team, 4 Champions Leagues, level with Bromley, 4 more than York, 3 FA Cups, 2 down on York, 6 Carabao Cups, so they're up 1. So it's Oldham, isn't it? It's Physical Phils. Physical Phils have had the redemption. Finally. Go on, lads. Fair play to you. Mason Holgate is in charge of England. 5 World Cups, 3 in a row, 4 Euros in a row. Of course, it was always going to happen. So, yeah, we've lost some teams. Chelsea are 18th in the Championship. Man City have just come up in the playoffs from League One. Where are Liverpool? Oh, Liverpool are still in the Premier League. Yeah, finishing 12th, sorry. Okay, so all those players are about to move on. How can Oldham, Bromley and York get on in the following years? We're going to skip through and then we're going to come back and look at Ballon d'Ors for the players. 2055 is when we're coming back here. It is 10 years in the future. And here we go then. We're looking. Bromley have just been relegated. York are in 12th. Oldham finishing 3rd. Oldham came 2nd and that's as good as it got. Newcastle, Tottenham and Arsenal winning all the leagues. So... competitions. Still getting runner-up in the Champions League. Couple of runners-up. That's fantastic. In the Premier Division, they've never fallen since they left 11th, then 7th. They've climbed back up, and then they've been top 6, mainly top 4, 5th there. So, yeah, Champions League qualification for Oldham. Fair play to them. York, they actually got relegated. Why is that not coming up? 2048-49. Make it look like this not even loaded. Chelsea have just won that. Right, York got promoted there. So did Chelsea. That's it. York went down, came straight back up, and they've been actually getting top half a few seasons. Sadly, Bromley are on the way down. Been down a couple of times. Not bothering going back and looking at them, but yeah, bit yo-yo-y. There you go. Man City are in the Premier League. Chelsea just come back up. Liverpool are 13th, so fair play to all them. And Footballer of the Years then. So we've had Footballer of the Year, Physical Fills, 2, 8 for Physical Fills, a couple for Mental Marks. Coach at Sunderland is Mental Mark Striker 3. Mental Mark is a coach at Oldham. Played for Bromley, 23 years. He's only going to become a coach at Oldham. I would have thought that, would you? So a lot of Physical Fills, a couple of Mental Marks. No Technical Tommies, sadly. Golden Ball then. Nicky Spittle is a very good player, isn't he? Look at that. What an absolute superstar he is. He's won so many Ballon d'Ors. And 2 other Tottenham players have been winning it either side of him. Scara and Gamer, playing for PSG now at 38. So, a couple of Physical Fills here. Oh, Technical Tommy winning Golden Balls. Coach at Chelsea. Yeah, Physical Fills. So no Mental Marks. Well, he's been all about the Physical Fills, isn't it? And Oldham had the better of it throughout the entire experiment. So I think it's safe to say that the Physical Fills took this one. And that's the first time I think they've done it. I think maybe in 2.0 they probably did pretty well, but a lot of them did pretty well. So yeah, fair play to Oldham. It was great to see all of them sort of jostling between, and it wasn't just one team that just steamed away with it. We had to actually work it out. Oldham did pull clear in the last 5 years, which I didn't expect to happen. But it was very close going into those last 5 years. Any of them could have taken it with the different levels of competition success. No Champions Leagues for York, very surprising, considering they won so many domestic trophies. But there you go. Hope you've had a good time watching this, gang. I've had a fantastic time making it. Thanks to Bill, who suggested this on one of the previous Perfect Column videos. Yeah, shout out to Bill, who is a long-time contributor to the channel in terms of his comments. And yeah, very much appreciated, Bill. Thank you very much. And yeah, thank you very much for everyone who's watched and for all of you who've liked. If you haven't, that's another gentle reminder to get down there and like. If you're not subscribed, please do. And while you're here, if you want a bit of a binge of my channel, why don't you check out this video? Oh, well, that was a good one, wasn't it? Eh? Oh, dear. You seen that one? Oh, well, not this one then. Take care, gang. I'll see you soon.